Thank you for watching Meatsauce and Monty. Season 3, we are back. Paul Meatsauce Lambert, Matt Montgomery, the only independent Vikings show in the Twin Cities TV market. And we are back, Season 3, here at Mystic Lake. They are our wonderful sponsor and our new set. Look at how much things have changed.
We got pillows, man.
Yeah, you got pillows so you can...
And they said I'd never do TV with a pillow. I'm covering up my body. I put on a little bit of weight. Anybody have a body pillow?
If you need a second one.
Okay.
There's a yellow one if you need them.
I mean, I'm not pregnant yet.
I know.
It doesn't need to be that bad. But yeah.
How impressive. Look at this. So our first year.
We've come, man.
I know. I said our first year, the basement of the CW in St. Paul, which was fantastic. It was a great start.
Well, yeah.
Todd built the set, I think, in his basement and brought it with every week.
Yeah, I think he like role plays in that set. I'm
might.
the producer. There's no one down here. Oh.
Season 2, we came here.
Yeah.
We got the digital screen behind us, Stage M, Mystic Lake.
Yeah.
Come down here, Thursday Night Lights. Season 3, they give us a couch, a table, pillows.
I love Mystic Lake.
Our production crew is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, just Scott. The rest of them are pure trash, but it's great. I'm so TV, I didn't even wear socks.
You're so TV. You are so ready to rock.
Well, we're going to be standing. No one's going to see my thunder thighs. Oh, we're sitting.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Next week, wear shorts and show off those beautiful calves.
No, I can't.
You'll do some
Todd said I
flexing.
can't wear shorts.
Who said?
Todd.
Todd.
Yeah, he exists this season.
He does?
Yeah.
The Todd is here?
Yeah, he's back, yeah. He's the guy keeping time.
We're going to have to find a role for the Todd.
Yeah, we'll leave Todd alone.
Well, the real Todd.
Do you like my cliffhanger hat? I feel very Sylvester Stallone. Like, where's the hat that's like mountainy and like, I don't know, I've grown up a little.
It's not the Whalers.
Or the stupid Milwaukee Brewers hat, which I bought when I was really drunk and it barely fits.
Interesting.
It's a long story, I'll tell you.
No,
I've been
I'd love
on
to
a
hear
couple
the story
adventures
sometime.
lately, yeah.
The trucker, I see it's got Minnesota on it, so it's got to be a local company. Big Woods, Big
Pick
One.
and shovel. But yeah, I love it.
Stand for a cause, anything you like?
No, just Minnesota.
Just
I like
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You like
Minnesota's, they like me.
And Minnesota likes you.
Yeah, some of them do.
That could be a State Fair t-shirt.
You should see.
Meatsauce likes Minnesota.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I like. I don't like a lot of things. You can tell.
Do you like the Vikings?
I look handsome. I'm not going to lie to you. This is maybe the most
You're
handsome
sitting very. Look at your. Do you sit like? I mean, your posture.
Well, no, but I've got the hunchback of Notre Dame on the back of me. I'm not going to lean over.
You look like you're getting ready to jump off the bench and get into action.
I'm nervous.
Look at you.
There's a lot of people here.
I know this is the best crowd we've had here at Mystic Lake. Look at these people. This is. Hey, that is fantastic.
I think they're here for our special guest, but
they might be here for our special guest. By a little tease here: Matthew Hatchette, former wide receiver for the Vikings. He'll be here in segment 2. They might be here for him. Yeah. He's quite good looking, is what Todd says.
Yeah, he's
as I see him out of the corner of my eye, he is
a good looking guy.
He is very handsome.
Yeah, he is.
So let's get down to the purple.
Okay.
Vikings, that's what our show's all about. Like I said, this is season 3. We're coming off 13-3, second best record since the 15-1 in '98. The Minneapolis Miracle. Our last show last year was the end of the regular season, week 17 against the Bears. We're back. Think of the things we missed. The Minneapolis Miracle. What was your impression? Where were you? Were you at the game?
I was at the game in the radio booth.
Did you go crazy?
I remember when they got that first down and kicked the field goal. I left the radio booth and I kind of just paced in the back, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to have to talk about how the Vikings lost to the Saints. I despise the Saints. And then all of a sudden I go, well, maybe I'll go back in and watch. Well, they make that play, they get close, and they make the Minneapolis Miracle. And I'm not kidding you. My boss of all bosses, who writes my contract, looks over my contracts, all that. He was standing there watching over PA, and I was standing next to him, and then Mike Wabshaw of Vikings.com was to my left.
Yeah.
That play happened. I reached back like this and just slapped my boss right on the butt. And he literally, in this massively unbelievable moment, just goes, like, what?
He had to make
and
sure
then
he
I
knew
hugged
who it was.
him, and then, oh yeah, it was
full embrace.
It was, I mean, I was at the Game 6 of the '91 World Series.
Oh, Kirby's game.
Kirby's game was great, but the Minneapolis Miracle is the greatest play I've ever seen.
So, great story, very rich.
Thank you, thank you.
The butt slap.
It's not my best story, but.
So then, is the Minneapolis Miracle just a wash because of what happened the next week?
Yeah.
Philadelphia flop or whatever.
Think if that happens. Think if that's the NFC Championship game.
Oh.
That's arguably the greatest play in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up against any of those, the Joe Carter home run, any of that stuff. If that gets him to the Super Bowl, That's
Super
phenomenal.
Bowl at home,
Oh,
that would
it'd be
live
phenomenal.
forever.
Yeah, it'd be forever.
It
but
still
yeah.
will live forever for Minnesota.
The Philly game was
for the
awful.
NFL.
The Philly game was the worst performance they've had in an NFC Championship game.
It was pretty bad.
Because right after they scored and they went up
38-0.
7-0, it was just, they looked like
Blah.
they forgot what to do.
Yeah.
They basically, the Minnesota Vikings in Philly after they scored that touchdown, every single player, offense and defense, looked like what the toys do when Andy walks in the room. They all just
See,
fell.
I thought you were going to say it was like your high school highlight tape.
No, that was
where it
two plays.
Two
Yeah,
plays.
very similar.
Yeah, it just had that same effect. Let's start with sad news, but the Vikings in the offseason had to deal with some really sad issues.
Yeah.
Fred Zamberletti passed away, 86
Yeah.
years old. Tony Sperano, totally out of the blue, 56 years old, right before
He died
training
in his
camp.
sleep, didn't he?
Yeah, the heart attack. And,
Yeah.
how do you think the team dealt with that? Obviously,
Man, I don't know. 2 deaths. I mean, they dealt with a player that passed away with Corey Stringer, and then you deal now with coaches. A death's a death, but I don't know how you deal with it. Your most fragile position, and when you break it down, it has nothing to do with that because it's all life is way more important than football or anything else we do. But man, what a tough way to go.
Yeah.
A young guy, great guy, everyone loved him.
Yep, and the timing,
coaching
right
staff
before
loved him.
training
Yeah,
camp.
just horrific.
Yeah,
not
I was wondering
good.
if that's going to have, I don't want to say a shadow, but if they're going to reach back to that and mention that through the season.
I don't know. I think
They haven't so far. Preseason is gone,
No, yeah.
but I'm wondering as the season goes on if that will
I think they're in good
come up.
hands. I think the 2 coaches that they have basically co-coaching the offensive line, I think they're in good shape.
All right. Okay, last year, Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Bradford, all 3 gone.
Yep.
Real quick, do you think they've moved on to bigger and better things? Do you think Case in Denver is good? Do you think Teddy down in New Orleans is a good fit? Sam getting a starting job in Arizona?
Bradford, I love Sam Bradford. Anybody you ask that played on the Vikings team with him or anybody who's played with him says he's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever played with. He just can't stay healthy. I mean, we saw it basically a year ago today in that New Orleans game.
one.
He shredded them, and he was fully healthy. And then he's never been the same.
The mysterious knee.
Right. I love Sam Bradford. I wish the best for him. Case Keenum, I think, is a one-hit wonder. I think he's in for a rude awakening. I would
in
bet
Denver.
I would bet Denver wins 6 games, maybe.
Okay.
And Teddy Bridgewater is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life.
Hope
I
he
wish
gets to
nothing
start
but
again
the best for him.
someday.
And he's in a good spot down in New Orleans.
Are we in a better spot with Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback the Vikings have had since Brett Favre.
Nice. Since Brett Favre.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is phenomenal. I love Kirk Cousins.
He hasn't played a regular season snap as of yet, but you're
He's
saying
phenomenal.
he is the best.
Quarterback they've had since Brett Favre.
I like it.
Yep.
That's good.
It'll be sweet. Can't wait.
The return of Dalvin Cook. How big of an impact is that going to have on the offense this year?
I think a lot. I think the way that he runs the ball, the way that he plays, will take a lot of pressure off this. I mean, you can say you can call it what you want. You can be as optimistic as you want. They have a patchwork offensive line.
Yeah.
And with Dalvin Cook back there, he takes a little bit of pressure off. Plus, the one thing we saw in his first game and his first 4 games, he's a great run blocker. And you need that as a running back. There are a lot of great running backs. Adrian Peterson, who literally that's not what they do. And I mean, they just olay the blocker. But Dalvin Cook's a great all-around player.
Absolutely.
He's wonderful. How
Blocking,
good he is.
catching out of the backfield,
Yeah,
running.
He's great, yeah.
Short yardage, whatever you need. Let's be real quick here. Preview of today's game. We got San Francisco.
Yeah.
Is there anything about San Francisco that we should be afraid of? Despite Jimmy Garoppolo last year when he went there, he went 5-0 to end the season. They still finished last in the NFC West. In the offseason, Jerick McKinnon, boom, he's out for the year. Should the Vikings be scared of anything that the 49ers
Minus
bring?
their defensive line. They've got, I think 3 guys on it that are over 6'6". Other than that, no. Jimmy Garoppolo is okay. I mean, everybody, he won. They played a lot of bad teams.
It was the end of the season. They weren't playoff bound.
Yeah, no.
So in a way, that 5-0 is kind of a misnomer. You think, he might not be that great.
No, they have not.
We'll see how
the
they do this
Vikings
year.
will win by double digits.
Well, we save our picks for the end of the
Yeah,
show,
I always-
but thanks a
I
lot
always-
for
yeah.
blowing that.
Yeah,
Boy, we are in mid-season
Yeah,
form.
I finished too quickly.
You finished too quickly. Is that? I'm going to
With
leave that
that
alone.
bit, yeah.
All right, let's take care of some business here. Thursday night lights here at Mystic Lake. If you come here, you can win up to $1,000 of free slot play. It starts every Thursday this football season at 5 p.m. And if you want to stick around, you can hang here for our show, which is absolutely extremely entertaining with Paul. Also, rock, brats, and beer. $20 for single day pass, $30 for the weekend. Friday, September 28th, George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Do you like them?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Great music.
Yeah,
Band of the
George
Bone.
Thorogood's sweet.
Texas Gentlemen. And then Saturday, September 29th, John Kay and Steppenwolf, Eric Burden and the Animals, and Savoy Brown.
That's sweet.
And then Counting Crows with Live. That's getting more into our era, a little bit of the 90s.
That'll be sweet.
Coming on Sunday,
I wanna go to
September
Pete
16th.
has to get me tickets to that. I'm going.
You want to get some tickets to that?
Yeah.
All right, coming up, segment 2. We now introduce former Vikings wide receiver. He wore number 89 in the purple and gold. We'd like to welcome to the show Matthew Hatchette.
Yes.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
This
Thank
crowd
you.
is
Thank
awesome.
you. Mystic Lake is big tonight.
You got 6 seasons in the NFL. 4 of them were with the Vikings. 97 to 2000. That was a great time to be with the purple.
It was the run. It was the Denny Green days, the Randy Moss days, Randall Cunningham, Chris Carter. So yeah, it was a good run. I think we had the best offense ever in NFL history during those times.
At the time, and today at halftime, the team from '98 is going to be honored.
Yep.
Are you going to be there?
I am. They're bringing us back. A lot of my teammates are coming back. I talked to people like Dwayne Rudd, who was my '97 draft class. Like I said, I know a couple other guys, Robert Tate from the draft class. So a lot of guys are coming back. Look forward to seeing them and having fun.
That was the year in 1998 when I fell in love with Minnesota Vikings football, because it was one of these things where when you watched it, you thought it was a video game. That's how good you guys were. That night, I mean, you can go any of those games. You can look at any of them, but the Green Bay game, the Dallas game,
Monday Night Football, right?
any of them, any of those games, you watch and you're going, this is a video game.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Well, it helped that Randy Moss made it look easy
Yeah,
at times,
right, yeah.
And that kind of helped out because I think we were the first ones to just go down the field on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
And people knew it but still couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to do, of course, when you see in today's game. I mean, if you take a regular, season average of how many teams go deep during the season and complete the ball, you're talking about 5 to 8 over 40 yards on the outside. And I think Moss is doing it almost once a game, so that kind of helped.
He had
out
17 touchdowns.
Yeah.
His 40, I think his highlight reel of his 40-yard touchdowns is like 9 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
It just
unbelievable.
goes. And I've watched
It
that.
never
I've watched
stopped.
that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I'm on the other side.
You were
clearing
good
out
too,
for
though.
him.
I mean, you were good. You guys were that wide receiver core you guys had in '98 was unbelievable.
Yeah.
You, Reed, Carter.
I tell people all the time, I think that we changed the game the offensive game, because before 98, you had a lot of the receivers were we had maybe one guy who was 6'1", 6'2". All the other receivers were 5'9", 5'10" receivers, right? Moss comes in 98. You have Chris Carter, 6'2", Jake Reed, 6'3", I'm 6'3", Moss is 6'4", Tony Bland was 6'4".
Yeah.
We go out and set every offensive record in the NFL, and the next year, all you saw from there was big receivers taken.
Yeah.
And of course, what do you see in the NFL now? All big receivers.
Big receivers.
And that wasn't happening before 1998.
Well, look at what Randy Moss did for guys like Plaxico Burress. I mean, without Randy, you're like, that guy's too big. That's a tight end, but he was the perfect size because of what you guys did. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the draft class from '99 till now. Again, if you're not 6'3", 6'4", you're not going in the first round.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
Any stories that you can share on a family hour of television? What was Randy Moss like? Obviously, you were there a year before him. So when he came on the scene, what was it like? Was he honestly larger than life, even as a rookie in '98?
I don't think he was. I don't think he knew he was. I think his determination was to be that. But he didn't know the route he was going to take. All he wanted to do was play. He wanted to compete. He wanted to go out against the best. I remember we had the training camp versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, Kansas City Chiefs had probably the best corners in the league with James Hasty and Dale Carter.
Yeah.
Dale Carter, to me, is probably the best corner to ever play. Nobody ever heard of him. They always throw Dion out there and all that. But Dale Carter had all the twos, and he was a physical beast. But for Randy to go up against those guys just during that little, scrimmages that we had in those 2 days, and for him to hold his own at that young age, I knew his competitiveness was going to overtake even more talent than he had.
You look at the other thing with that team, though, is when you look back at '98, and we all know how it ended, but that team wins the Super Bowl. It's arguably the greatest football team of all time.
I agree.
Even the offensive line. I mean, that
agree.
you it's tough to say that one of the greatest teams of all time never won a Super Bowl. You can't really say that, but that offensive line was stacked.
Yeah.
The running, yeah. I mean, you had every
Randall
single
McDaniel.
thing. Randall McDaniel's the greatest guard
ever. Yeah,
ever, and you had them all. I
You
mean,
had
it was
4 Hall of Famers
Yeah.
on that team. 2 of them are wide receivers with your position.
Right,
I mean,
right.
When you
I
tell
agree.
stories and it's like, yeah, I had 2 Hall of Famers right here with me. That's insane.
People don't understand the luck, how lucky I was, again, to kind of watch it unfold. And even at that time, people like 3 years later and like now, you have all these offensive scoring points. They're still not scoring as many points as we were scoring, number one. Number two, we were still huddling up. All them other offenses
Taking more
didn't
time,
huddle.
yeah,
We
I never
still
thought of
just
that.
we had probably 55, 60 plays. All these other offenses, they're scoring almost as much as we had, and they're doing it with 70, 80 plays, no huddle, and it's just we were doing it with way less plays.
Yeah. So we've talked about receivers. You had quarterbacks: Brad Johnson, Randall Cunningham, Jeff George, Dante Culpepper.
Yep.
What was it like to play with them? And was there any of them? Obviously, everybody's different. But when you're saying in the huddle, the presence, who was the leader? Who did you jive with? Who did you love to play for?
I think I jived with Cunningham the most, just personality. Again, not every quarterback receiver combination is like, yo, I like him, or that's my guy. It's not like that. We're just regular human beings. But me and Randall were like, we talk to this day. Like I've just seen him at the Hall of Fame. A month ago? I coached against his son when he was in Vegas at UNLV, or at Bishop Gorman in Vegas. But yeah, so I still talk to Randall to this day. Jeff George, I thought, threw the best football I've ever caught in my life. I mean, he's like, you just come out of your break and it's just right there every single time.
Yeah, he was good, man.
And I remember the first day of practice he came, we had Ben Gates, like skinny posts, and he's like, I'm gonna throw these next 5 with my eyes closed. I'm like, no way, whatever.
No way.
He drops back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes closed, and then Ben Gates is like on a rope, like a post, like 22-yard throw on a rope, and it's just every single time like, And I'm like, yeah, this dude's got it. He's the dude. Again, maybe his personality wasn't, the best what other people thought, but for us, he worked out great.
Just a talent.
Just a talent. And of course, Pep was young when he got to the Vikes, and I didn't get to play with him his whole career, so he went from, pretty much coming in being this guy with just a strong arm and couldn't figure things out to being a, good NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
He almost won the MVP.
Absolutely, yeah.
Without Peyton Manning doesn't have that career year. He wins an MVP.
Absolutely.
People forget about that. How great
had a great year.
Culpepper was for like 3 or 4 years.
And if it weren't for the bad knee, he could have been, like you said, Brett Favre was our best quarterback. He could have been around for another 5-6 years.
Yeah.
He could have been great.
Yeah.
Away from football.
Yeah.
What have you done since? And are you, is Hollywood, are you still knocking on the door saying you're looking for a chance?
Yeah, I'm still knocking.
That's
like
awesome.
the Hollywood thing, like I said, it's more about longevity, I guess, for me now. It's, you're playing sports, you're trying to get everything you can in 5, 10 years, whatever, because you know it's going to be over.
Yeah.
But your other careers, you kind of just do them as long as you can.
Absolutely,
do them.
yeah.
And like I said, the Hollywood thing, I produced 3 films out in Los Angeles. Working on a TV show now. Me and T are working on one with Alan Rakatan. Very tall production, so we got something coming for next summer, coming out on TV. Trying to do a podcast as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay busy and stay on the entertainment side of it.
How'd you get into that?
When I was playing, I had helped finance a couple films.
Yeah.
And I just loved the business side of it.
Yeah.
From just learning from A to Z, the behind the film. Behind the screen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And of
So you
course,
were
when I
thinking
got
next
done,
move after.
next move. Then on the side, I also do like all football stuff. So high school, college, pro football, from training. We have a gym out in Los Angeles. So I, train the kids. I do all the Nike Nike stuff with all the kids. From Nike Regional, Nike Open, stuff like that. So again, sports and entertainment's been my 2 lanes, since I've started playing.
That's awesome. Thank you for your
Oh
time.
man, thank you, brother.
Google him. He's got his own IMDb page. You want to check that out. Matthew Hatchette has already signed our ball. We will have all of our guests sign this. At the end of the year, we will auction that off. Thanks to Mystic Lake. That is their idea. That is their ball. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Matthew Hatchette was absolutely fantastic as a guest here. But guess what? You can run this route and score every time. Can you run a route and score every time?
What are we talking about?
Keep it clean.
Football?
Score a round-trip ride to the professional football game at US Bank Stadium. $5, no parking fees, no traffic, no worries. When you come back here to Mystic Lake, you will get a $10 dining credit that you can use here at any Mystic Lake restaurant or at the Little Six restaurant. So you can book your $5 ride on Ticketmaster or call the Mystic box office. 952-496-6563. $5, the bus takes you to and from.
Fancy.
And then you get $10 towards food.
That's a steal.
Yeah,
You're getting paid.
You get paid to eat
I
after
wish
catching
I
a
could.
football game. If you did, you'd be very successful.
Yeah,
I have a
thank you.
feeling.
Yeah, thank
Sorry.
you. I'm good at eating a few things.
All right, one of my favorite segments. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You wanted to go further with that, I could tell.
Of course.
Honest opinion. Do you remember we did this last year? I just throw something out
Yeah.
there. I want your
Yeah.
honest opinion. I'm going to try to push you a little bit harder this year.
Sure.
I don't want you to just sit on the fence and be like, nah, okay, kind of funny.
No.
Actually take a stand.
Sure.
You think you can do it?
Yeah.
All right, honest opinion. The tackling rule.
Yeah.
I think there were 71 flags here in the preseason games. Does it make sense? Are you thinking this is just the stupidest thing ever? Where's your stand, honest opinion? The NFL's changed the tackling rule.
I think eventually the NFL is going to have to go back to just being like, well, you play this game, you know what you're getting into. They're trying to make it way too PC.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these you're like, wait, what? Like when you watch them and you're like, that's how we were taught as kids.
Yeah.
What? Some of these penalties, you're going, this is not football.
How are you supposed to come in and
You can't.
at full speed? These are professional athletes that are moving so fast.
You're going to get injured that way.
Yeah, they're going to try to put their hits someplace
You
able.
get injured when you.
You're going to see low hits. You're going
when
to see
you
guys
dog
get their
it,
knees
you get
taken out.
injured. Yeah. No, it's stupid. It's going to ruin the NFL.
Stupid. Going to ruin the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to get called a lot? Do you think the refs are going to hold
I think
back?
the refs. I think the NFL doesn't like to be wrong. Obviously, I think the NFL is going to be like, okay, well, don't call it as much, and if it's borderline, then let it go. But they had a mess in the preseason. It was awful.
71 calls, and I think they said
Yeah.
65 games.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, and some games had as many as like 20 penalties that were accepted, which is
Yeah.
just going to add to time. People already complain about the game starting to take too long. We'll shift gears here. We'll get a little bit outside of football. The Twins, CEO Derek Falvey, GM Thad Levine, their performance this year. I know
Yeah.
that you've taken to Twitter and thrown a few barbs. Dozier's gone, Escobar's gone, Buxton shelved for the rest of the year. Where are the Twins at right now? Your
The Twins
honest
are
opinion.
the worst team in this market. And we have a soccer team. I mean, the Twins are the worst team in this market.
You just found a way to jab both
I
the
hate
Twins
the soccer
and
team, but
soccer at
I
the same
can't
time.
mention them because they're real sensitive. Of
But
what
you
I
just
say.
you can mention them. You
No,
can.
I'm
do
not
it.
going to mention them.
It's
I'm
your
not
show.
but
Our
I'm not
show.
going to
You
give them
can-
that. No.
Yeah.
The difference with the Twins is the Twins have gotten to the point now where they just say, screw it, we're not doing it. Forget it. We're not going to try. They've quit.
Yeah.
They've literally quit. And you still charge, and I think this is my take all the time. You should charge less than half price for admission. Let all these kids that never get to go to a professional sporting event go.
Open the doors. Be generous.
Your product is I mean, you look at the lineup when
Oh.
Lavelle or any of these guys tweet it, you're like, who's Jake Cave? Who is
Yeah.
that guy?
Is he a center fielder? See,
I don't know who
I'm
he
like,
is.
eh.
Then the Byron Buxton thing,
Yeah.
let Byron Buxton play. Who cares?
Sure.
People would pay to watch him.
We'd
the whole
wanna see
thing's
him.
stupid.
Yeah.
The
Whole
Twins
thing.
should move. They should go back to the
Twins
Metrodome.
should-
Build a Metrodome and put them in there. It's an embarrassment.
You think
They're
I love it.
going to
Build
lose
another
90
Metrodome.
games.
Yeah, it's
They
not.
they got swept by Houston, and like they gave less effort than I give to this show. And I sat in my car for a half hour before I
You
walked
said
in.
you took a 2.5 hour
Yeah,
nap.
I don't put any effort into anything, and
know
they
what, though?
give
You're-
less effort than I do.
The end result, even with the lack of
Pure
preparation,
talent.
it is
It's like
pure
I'm the Randy Moss of
You
TV.
just show up.
Just show up.
You play when you want to
Yeah,
play.
you ever seen a cheetah stretch? No. Just go. Fire away.
That's a good one.
The Twins should quit. I hate the Twins.
I like
Hate
it.
'em.
Nice. See, that's what we want out of honest opinion. Get you fired up.
Except for
Take-
the PR people. I
Take
love
some
the PR
shots.
people.
Oh, there are great people there.
Yeah.
Every week I'm going to try to include something that's a little lighthearted, maybe a
Sure.
little pop culturally. Do you have a crush on Ryan Reynolds? I
I like
Allie
Ryan
does.
Reynolds.
Everybody,
I
Ryan
like
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
He's a good, he's a good looking guy.
I think he's a good guy.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
You think it's funny?
Phenomenal.
Good.
Phenomenal. I love Deadpool.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
No.
No, Ryan Reynolds. Little bit of a dust up, and it's all in good fun. the E Entertainment Awards movie show, whatever. He took a shot at Paddington Bear.
Yeah.
You don't have kids. Paddington Bear, you're like, whatever.
I know who Paddington Bear is.
So they
I
made a
had one
movie.
as a kid.
Paddington Bear had a second movie. He took a shot at it on Twitter saying they're up for the Family Movie Award, and he said, watch your effing back, Paddington.
Yeah.
People actually got upset about that. There were a lot of people that were defending it and going after Ryan Reynolds.
You're making that up.
No, they're saying that was a step too far, that he should not have used the F word.
It's the internet. There's nudity on the internet.
That's the first thing you go to. There's nudity on the internet.
Anyone in today's era and today's age with the internet that is offended by swearing, that isn't a minor, like I get it. I have the worst mouth on the planet, but I don't.
Off camera.
I don't swear around kids. But any grown adult that's like, that's a naughty word. Shut up. Like, how fun are you at a party? Oh, wait, you don't get invited. Don't swear. Okay, great. Don't listen. Don't follow him. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is one of the filthiest movies of all time.
Yeah.
He swore on the internet. It's the Wild West on the internet. There's sex trafficking and all these awful things going on via the internet. And you're worried about Ryan Reynolds swearing at an imaginary bear? What's wrong with you?
That should be our commercial right there. That's our new slogan.
That's so stupid. You're offensive. Yeah? Well, you're ugly. I don't care that I'm offensive. People say it all the time. You swear too much. So?
Yeah.
Have you seen yourself in the mirror? You look like a thumb.
See, and then
You're mean. I'm not mean. It's all in good fun. That's offensive. That's too far. Okay, cool. Were you not allowed to watch, Lion King as a kid? That's not my fault. You lived a sheltered life. Shut up.
Todd, I figured out how to get Paul going. Just have to go to Twitter and Paddington Bear.
I hate people that complain about swearing.
Yeah.
There's so many other things going on in this world.
And they complain
so
about
many
swearing.
Kids go hungry, all these horrible things. You swore. Okay, cool. Lie down on a train track. I don't care.
All right. I love that take. That was very
too
good.
far.
But now there's too
Little
much
George
editing for
Carlin,
Scott.
right?
He's got all this stuff to do.
Well, Scott loves me.
Scott loves the
Scott
show.
and I moved in together.
Did you have a place downtown Minneapolis?
No, we bought a penthouse in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Haven't been to it yet.
Really?
Yeah, Scott paid for it.
It's like The Hangover. You guys go there and
I don't know what we do there. It's none of your business.
you don't
what we do
remember.
there.
Let's get our picks in.
We don't swear though. Keep that in
you
mind.
Oh,
we
in
don't
Las Vegas,
swear
you don't swear?
Nope.
I
don't want to offend people that are begging for money on the street.
You swear a dozen times before even getting in the car.
I swear constantly.
To get to
I
the
love
airport.
swearing.
I
I learned how to swear when I was 4 years old
And
by
you
my uncle.
continue.
And then my uncle will be like, "Don't swear in front of my children." Oh, okay.
All right.
Funny how it all comes around.
You're
sorry.
That's it. Let's get the picks going. San Francisco, your pick. Vikings or 49ers?
Vikings will win 24-10.
24-10?
Yep.
I'll say win. I'll go less than 14. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be fine, but I think our defense is overpowering. I think our offense might stumble out of the gate, but I think once they hit their rhythm, they'll win, but I'll say less than 14, maybe 30-21-ish.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll go there. All right?
Yeah.
Cool. That do it for you?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for episode 1. Be back here next week on the CW.
Thanks, Scott.
And we'll see you here Thursday Night Lights at Mystic Lake. Have a good week.